yourself to my audience.
Thank you, Lena. My name is Alibaba. I'm the CEO for Saudi cloud computing company, SCCC. We are a partner of Alibaba Cloud right now, part of the cloud region. We are a Saudi company that is managing the cloud region in Saudi. For Alibaba, we've launched several solutions so far. It's been 1.5 years since we launched. In that year and a half, we've been able to capture huge market share, launch multiple products, maintain very good customer satisfaction rates. We continue to evolve on that. We've been working on a lot of innovative solutions, innovative approaches to cloud, and trying to differentiate ourselves from traditional hyperscalers.
Okay, Mr. Abdul, I wanted to take you're the best placed person I know. Given the size of your booth and me, you're right next to me, VIP, all the senior leadership from the digital infrastructure ecosystem is coming in and out of this office today. So you're very well placed to give us an insight into what is the current status of the market, the digital infrastructure market in Saudi Arabia right now, and what is your projection for growth in the next, say, 3 to 5 or 10 years?
Well, now it's becoming extremely exciting. We're seeing a lot of innovation in this space. We're seeing a lot of people coming up with unique ideas. Enhancements around this are becoming extremely, I wouldn't say exciting, they're extremely eye-opening. And what's happening right now is we're seeing a lot of the young generation really come up with approaches to things that are not only unique but extremely refreshing. And the market continues to evolve. AI is a central aspect of it, in addition to other technologies that are involved in IoT, cloud platforms, and developing new software as a service elements.
AI, IoT are the main market drivers, would you say?
Yeah.
Do you see these trends continuing in the future? Or are we going to see demand from different sectors as well?
Now, we're seeing the growth there is going to continue. Now, these three aspects really cover multiple sectors, so they're not industry specific. So we're seeing a focus on manufacturing and industry. We're seeing a lot of development there, and we're seeing a lot of software as a service companies come with solutions to address their needs. At the same time, we're seeing a lot of solutions around how to really optimize traditional ERPs and CRMs and traditional elements around that. As we start to progress, we're going to see more vertical specific solutions and more solutions that are extremely, let's say, focused on a specific area that is not really too common. A lot of AI, IoT, and youth are across the board. There's no specificity to it. As we start to progress, they will be more specific and they will come with niche products that address specific problems and then evolve.
So, sir, as you know, without AI-enabled data centers, there is no AI, right? So what is happening in Saudi right now to support the policy, the government policy that we together heard in Miami in terms of driving AI economy? What is happening? Can you put us up to date with the AI enabled?
Now, the beauty about AI, there are two elements to AI. There is the training of the actual models, and then there is building the models. So with regards to building the models, I've sat down with several startups, government entities. We're building models like crazy. We continue to fine-tune those models and further optimize them. As we start to progress, training them, I'm sure we'll be able to do that in the near future and be able to train models on a bigger scale. We're yet to see how that will
So where is all that compute going to be sitting? And how is it going to be powered? And how is it going to be cooled?
Oh, that's
Has there
beautiful.
been an integrated thought process about this?
There isn't an integrated thought process. Actually, I've been sitting with several companies about how they want to re-innovate the concept of data centers to make it not only to reduce its carbon emission, but make it net zero carbon emission. I had an amazing meeting with several companies around that. It's very exciting stuff. Now that's one thing. Now today we have Saudi regulations around data sovereignty for specific types of data. And that requires that data to be in Saudi. Anything that is not regulated data can be trained outside of Saudi. So we don't have a problem.
So that's very interesting. So where would you then put some of the workloads in different places? Where were you thinking?
Well, for me specifically, I'm a cloud provider, so I would prefer that people utilize my cloud services, and I run a cloud in Saudi, so I would prefer that they utilize some of our GPU capabilities in Saudi, instead of going outside and utilizing them.
Of course. So tell us about Alibaba Cloud. So now, are you mostly serving the public entities or the private sector?
We're a
How
mix.
is that going to go forward?
No, we're a mix. We're not focusing on a specific industry. We have government customers, private sector customers, startups. We're working with incubators, with fintechs. We're working with a lot of different sectors. So we're running across the board as an initial step. Now, as we start to progress, we're coming up with more verticalized solutions to address each individual need of each vertical.
Are we going to see Edge AI or Edge computing in Saudi
We
Arabia?
already have Edge AI. We have Edge nodes that we can run AI on top of it. So when we have that in place, if you go downstairs and you see one of our AI use cases, that utilizes specific AI compute capabilities so that we can do the training and so on.
I shall do this. I know you're meeting tons of very good people, much more important than me, but
No, you're very important.
oh, thank you. We can't talk about digital infrastructures, data centers without talking about sustainability. At a time when, as you know, there is the climate crisis, there is an energy crisis in the West. So my question to you is what opportunity to actually express what is Saudi Arabia doing to potentially attract some of these owners and operators that are operating the legacy owners and operators in the West, as a major jobs, that may have restrictions to their growth as a result of the energy crisis and the climate crisis. Is there anything that is attractive that is happening here that might draw some of these people over to you, some of these big investors? What are you doing to them? What is the sustainability scene with you?
The sustainability scene as a whole, not only on the cloud, is extremely attractive. There is a lot of sustainability initiatives being driven on multiple fronts. I personally, as a cloud provider, I had meetings with data center capability companies that have new innovative ways of addressing cloud cooling and cloud power requirements and optimizing that, and as I mentioned, bringing it to a net zero carbon emission. And they have a lot of additional benefits. We haven't signed anything. We talked informally. We have an NDA, so I can't go into details. But we've seen things that are extremely impressive. Something that we are really taken back by. Something we are considering very seriously. From a sustainability point of view, on the forefront, but again, it's just making financial sense. If I can do good environmental control, be net neutral, and be able to build the future for my children, my grandchildren, my country, and at the same time save money, it's a win-win. It's a win-win scenario.
I'm glad you think that. Is this the prevalent thinking within the business community and the leadership in this country, or do you still have, considering that Saudi Arabia is essentially a fossil fuel country, you're still in oil economy largely, the economy is largely, the budget's largely based on extraction for the next 10 years, I think. So what is the prevalent thinking within these circles?
I think, if you remember in FII Miami, His Excellency Rayan mentioned that Aramco, the biggest oil producer, is going to become or to enhance its capabilities with regards to being more reducing its carbon footprint and adding a lot of different services.
What do you think about, I mean, there's just in terms of the energy mix that you can have access to during this energy transition phase, is this something you would contemplate or you think that makes sense?
I think this is above my pay grade because this goes into other elements. For me, anything that helps me reduce my costs, improve my customer performance, and if I'm able to do that and also be net zero carbon emission or reduce my carbon emission, I'm all in. I want to be more environmentally conscious. That's something I'm working at heavily, and I think everybody believes in that aspect. PIF and PIF companies have right now sustainability ESG requirement that they're driving. I'm part of SCCC. SCCC is pushing us for sustainability guidelines and sustainability requirements. It is at the forefront of the executives there thinking, and we're really taking
So here is STC that is driving the regulation on sustainability.
But SCCC is an own smart. PIF, which is the Public Investment Fund, all the companies under it, PIF is pushing them to be ESG cautious and pushing them to specific guidelines around ESG. And if you saw in the FII, the FII came up with an ESG book for organizations to be able to categorize the broad ESG capability. In our booth, we have something called Energy Expert that helps people optimize their cost elements around the ESG elements, power consumption.
What would you say to investors contemplate, investors in this particular space, thinking, do I want to come to Saudi? Do I want to, it's a high capex industry, and they will be looking very strenuously at a lot of criteria. They have to tick quite a few boxes. What would you say to investors who are thinking now, or looking at potential places where they need to go for their digital infrastructure? In terms of coming here, any blockers, anything that would encourage them to come, what you have in mind?
Now, I think yesterday the announcement was clear. We have multiple companies that announced over $10 billion of investment in Saudi. Very big IT companies that are coming into Saudi. We are in Saudi right now, the first hyperscaler. We have another hyperscaler that's also in Saudi. The market is flourishing, everybody's coming. As you see LEAP, the potential around LEAP and what's happening in LEAP shows you exactly the real potential of business in Saudi. It is going to grow even bigger and bigger. The sky is the limit. We're an ambitious country, and we want to really achieve amazing things.
Well, I wish you best of luck, and thank you for having us here. It was lovely to meet you, meet in Riyadh. Maybe next time we will meet in Europe. And wish you best of luck, and until we see you too soon.
Thank you, Lena. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Lena Tayyara, let's do that. Communication, Space and Technology Commission.
My name is Rakan Al Sulaim. I'm from CST, who is the regulator for comms and space and technology. So here today we are showing that we care about sustainability. We know that on our sector, the importance of the growth of the market, but we know and we are committed toward the environment and also the social impact.
بدك اياها بالانجليزي هاي؟
Yes.
خلينا نقلب بانجليزي لانه
لا.
okay.
No, just in
This
Arabic.
this says 26 success stories, 40
Plus 14 government entities was involved
Okay. All right.
on this success stories that empower the tech market to show cases that they use the technology to help the environment and also making an impact. So we did a lot of effort to the e-waste.
Yeah.
One of our initiative
e-waste.
is recycle your device. So we recycled over 100,000 devices and it's worth more than 30 million riyal. And we are happy to donate all this money to charity and for schools. And this is show our commitment toward the sustainability.
Okay.
We have a lot of work also with the ITU. So we know that the e-waste is a global issue. So we are trying to build a regulation on that 3 piloted country. Sure. We work with Rwanda and Zambia and Paraguay to build this e-waste regulation as our first step. Also, we make sure that we build our sustainability framework, which is Circle, and Circle is linked with the SDGs. So we make sure that all our efforts actually it's connected to the SDG. And like what we said on the e-waste, for example, it's linked to the sea, which is the circular economy. And when it comes to the infrastructure and maybe we have a lot of innovation to connect the unconnected. So we have, for example, we use the 5G hubs to connect people from the sky, and we have also the NTN solutions that link the people in rural area.
About your energy efficiency initiatives and what the target is with regards to data centers and what the plan is. What are you going to be rolling out and with which partners?
Yeah, actually we are working on reducing the cooling using of the energy by 60%, and also now we just yesterday assigned with Huawei to measure the carbon emission on the ICT sector, because until now we don't have a baseline in KSA in ICT sector. So we want to measure it as our first cornerstone to move to the next step, which is trying to reduce it and reduce the emissions.
Fantastic. Please keep us posted on this, because there are efforts around the world to try and do this. And I think a lot of the players, they feel they can't do it alone. So it's very much a collaborative effort.
I agree.
So it's good that we, every now and then, we will do an update what's happening
I totally
in Saudi.
agree.
Okay, thank you.